What is up, everybody, and welcome to Golf Tribune. What is Golf Tribune? I hope that is something that we can figure out together over the next few months. What it has been is just kind of a static website for the past few years. My name's Chris. I have a background in programming development. I run a ton of different websites, everything from daily fantasy sports to web hosting. I do a daily fantasy sports podcast, sports betting podcast. That's, kind of where my attention's been for the past few years. But I live in Florida. I work from home. I live on a golf course. I'm kind of blessed to have enough free time to get addicted to the great sport of golf, spend a ton of time and a ton of money on it. But I've been blessed to just be able to create a site like Golf Tribune to give me, I have relationships with all the major club manufacturers with Global Golf. I've been able to, if a new set of clubs come out and I want to try them, I can get them for either nothing or really, really close to nothing. So I have, the majority of the new clubs that have come out over the past few years. And then I've just started stockpiling old clubs. I love testing old clubs, anything from, early 80s to, the last decade to, everything from blades to, game improvement irons to, different drivers and fairway woods. And so I have a ton of stuff. And basically what I want to do with the channel is just give honest club reviews. I don't have any interest in selling anyone anything, between the videos and the podcast and whatever, the website kind of takes care of that for me. So it's just going to be honest reviews of new clubs, old clubs, cheap clubs, expensive clubs, different balls. And so I'm building out a little studio here at the house. I've got a ton of different launch monitors already. So we're just going to kind of rig the room up to do videos. It's not going to be another Rick Shields or something like that. I'm not a great coach. The one thing I do want to do is just kind of share things that have helped me along the way, tips that have helped me along the way. We have tips on the website, but it's, I do have staff writers on the website, and I occasionally do write. In fact, this is one I remember writing this one a long time ago. That was 60 days of pure misery for me I couldn't hit the ball. I was pulling it, slicing it, everything. And I went out with a buddy who golfsontheweb.com, and we were 3 holes into a round, and he stopped me and said, you do realize what's wrong with your swing, right? And I was like, no, I kind of had already explained to him that I'd gone through a couple of coaches trying to figure out why the hell I was struggling so much. And he said, your wrists are screwed up at the top and the club face is wide open at the top of your swing. And so I fixed that, and it was instant, right? Like, how many hours of misery at the driving range to instantly feel the difference and feel, hey, now my club face is coming in square and I don't have to jerk my hips and do all the other nonsense I was doing. So it's just stuff like that I want to be able to share, have a platform to share it. And maybe it's things that, you can store in the back of your memory bank. But for the most part, I just want to do whatever, the people listening or watching want me to do. Whether that's, reviewing training aids or launch monitors or whatever, I've got access to the equipment. I'm happy to pick it up and test it and share the results. So that's the plan for it. We're also going to do a bunch of fantasy stuff, a bunch of sports betting stuff. Like that's what my background is. That's what I'm really good at. I've built a ton of winning models for daily fantasy sports and betting on golf. We actually, in our DFS podcast, we successfully predicted the winners of several of the PGA Tour events this year. So that's, we're going to do a lot of that. We're just going to have fun with everything we do. That's the plan. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to comment on this if you're finding it on the website, and you click the link and check us out over at youtube.com, or if you are on Golf Tribune and just, click on one of the articles and leave me a comment there, or find the contact button in the menu. And let me know what you'd like to see, what you think there's a need for, because that's really what I want to fill. I don't want to try and sell anybody anything. I have no desire to do that with this with this project. So, all right, thanks for checking us out. golftribune.com. You can subscribe on the website. You can subscribe at YouTube, and you can, if you happen to be listening to this, you can subscribe. We're on SoundCloud, Google Play Store, iTunes, all of that. So yeah, stay tuned.